Hey, this is Bill Vernon, your Keller Williams agent for the Central Texas area. And we got a great guest on, and she's just a phenomenal person. Uh, I've known her for a few years now and seen her in action before we brought her onto the team as our preferred lender. We have Samantha. Hey, Samantha, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. So Samantha, tell us who you are.
You know, it's not really an exciting story, but so I grew up here in Central Texas, graduated local high school, graduated from Mary Hardin Baylor with a degree in accounting. And I thought I was going to want to be, an accountant and a CPA and all that other fun stuff. And I soon discovered that I didn't like doing the same thing every single day. And I went into the mortgage industry kind of by accident, and it was about 22 years ago.
Cool.
And never looked back. I love what I do. I love helping people purchase a home. I love helping people put together that strategy, because it's not just about a mortgage. Just like you guys, it's not just about a house. It's a full package, and it's an accomplishment, and it's a goal for people. So we work really hard to make sure that we're putting people together the right house and the right mortgage product, because not everything, there's no one size fits all in real estate, is there?
No, there isn't. It's each individual is unique when you're dealing with them. And you got to slow down and make sure that people are being given the right information, which is why we love you so much on our team. We know if we hand one of our clients over to you, that they're going to get the right information. Sometimes they're told stuff that they are not too hip. Oh, wait a second. That's not part of my plan. Why are you coming down heavy on me? So Samantha, what company are you involved with?
Oh, I guess I should have started with that, huh?
No, I asked you, who are you? Yeah.
I am with Guaranteed Rate. We are a nationwide mortgage lender, and we have all of the major products, as well as some of the products that you don't see very often. So most people end up doing like a conventional FHA, VA, USDA loan. We also have access to those other products that are considered kind of, they're called non-QM, which means they're non-qualified mortgage. So they're not the government products. They're those out of the box products. So we have access to all of those as well. Typically, the majority of home buyers fit very well with one of the normal products. So they get the best interest rates and the best terms and that kind of thing.
Cool. So Samantha, you've been involved with us for a while. We move a lot of buyers last year. Just out of curiosity, you kick back money to me, don't you, for every person I set in front of you? Isn't that how that works? Right?
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, no. Absolutely.
Yeah, you and I would not make good cellmates, would we?
No, I don't look good in orange or stripes. No, I mean, for anybody watching this, a lot of people do think that we have that kind of a relationship between realtors and lenders. And a lot of times it just comes down to, or really always, it comes down to trust. You know that I'm going to do my best job for your clients, and I know you're going to do your best job for those same clients. There's a trust factor there, and money can never build a trust factor.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, I'm joking there, typical Bill, being flippant. But in all seriousness, the reason you and I are in a relationship is I know when I hand over a client to you that you're going to take care of them at a high level. And that's the reason why. I mean, there's a lot of other people like you out there, and ask me how many I had to go through to find you. someone that actually shows up and works hard every day. I mean, I'm going to talk bad about your industry because you can talk bad about mine. There are a lot of mortgage people out there that need to be doing something else.
I think
Yeah.
that can be said with a lot of industries. You were talking about the team thing, and we build a team. When I talk to clients and they ask me, do we work for the same company? How do we work together? I kind of explain to them that buying a home is kind of like taking a trip on a plane. There are a lot of people that work on the plane that you don't see, that do jobs. They are our clients. And so they are the ones who are sitting in the seat. And we're not transporting a whole lot of passengers on your particular plane. It's really just you and your family. But you and I are sitting there, we're pilot and co-pilot. Our job is to get the plane there with as little turbulence as possible. We have baggage handlers, we have mechanics, we have the guy who puts the gas in the plane. We have all of these various people that work and get everything where it needs to go, but you don't always see them. And that's the analogy I assign to buying a home. Our hope is that we land and we coast right in and we get right to the gate and everything's smooth and perfect. But the reality is, maybe the appraiser forgot to put your suitcase on the plane. Maybe we get to the end and repairs have to be done. And so our little walkway, our gangplank going to the airport's not there yet. So maybe we have to wait on the runway for a few minutes. Anybody that's ever flown anywhere understands that's, we're all trying to get the same place at the same time. It's just sometimes, maybe we need to put a seatbelt on for a minute.
Yeah. I love your analogy because I think a lot of our clients don't understand, they see you and me, right? They see the pilot and co-pilot because we're at the door going, hello, hi, or bye-bye as the SNL skit goes. But we have a lot of people touching your file, as we call it. Your file is being touched by a lot of people throughout the process, which it is a process on our end, and it's a process on your end, isn't it?
It is, definitely. And I find a common misconception is especially people who haven't owned a home before, or people who owned a home 25 years ago, purchased a home 25 years ago. Hey, we pull credit, we ask you some questions, and boom, you're done. It's just not that way.
Oh, yeah. I like your analogy. Let me give an analogy. It's very much like being on a wagon train. You and I are the trail boss. That's actually cattle, but hey, let's go with it. You and I are there to help them, guide them through the process, but they're taking care of their horse, they're taking care of their wagon, they're making sure their wagon's packed. I mean, this is a process that requires the participation of our client. So I love what you're just saying there. You just don't pull credit and ask a couple of questions and bingo, it's over.
Here's your keys.
Yeah. No, I wish that's how that worked. But a very good team like the two people you're talking to right now that do this at a high level really will help you with that process and to get to your goal, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we work side by side through this. Your job is to make sure everything goes well with the house. You help with inspections, repairs, anything that comes up with the house. And I deal with the financing. I'm making sure that everybody's money gets where it needs to be when it needs to be there, and that we've satisfied all of the questions that can be asked. There's a whole lot that goes on. We work side by side, but what I love about working with your team, and I think what your team, I don't answer your questions. and you don't answer my questions. And that's huge. We're both licensed to do what we do.
Right. I love that you just touched on that, because my clients always hear that from me. For instance, people will ask me a tax question. You're married to a CPA. My father was a CPA for 50 something years. And I know the answer to the questions, but where's my license at? And I'll get these phone calls and they go, well, they'll ask me some lending question. I might know the answer, but as you and I know, I don't have a license in that area. And here's another thing that's kind of interesting. What I knew yesterday is not true. Guess what? Especially in lending today, right? So I love, yeah. And I go, hey, you need to talk to Samantha about that. Yeah.
You talk about lending guidelines changing. I get a newsletter once a week that tells me what changes there were every week.
A couple
I could
pages
file
long, I
that.
bet you.
It's some of them are really long, but I could file that and not really worry about it and hope that nothing happens. But yeah, I read that from top to bottom every single week. Sometimes I even print it out and have it here just in case, just because sometimes things change and it's kind of a nuance. And we actually go back through our pipeline to people who weren't able to be qualified. And we go back through that pipeline and we go, hey, here's been a change. You could possibly qualify now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
that's lending changes every day.
It does. And that's the reason why, we need someone like you on board. And I know you work hard. I want to be careful here because you don't work every weekend. I don't want to give the illusion. I mean, you work hard and stuff, but I don't want people to think if they call you on Saturday and Sunday, you automatically pick up. However, I know you will, if things are called for. We'll talk to people on Saturdays and Sundays because you call me and go, hey, this might be going on, and explaining to me what's going on with the file on a Saturday or Sunday. I remember during the fall, sometime I'm just sitting there I'm goofing off on the couch watching Baylor play football. And then all of a sudden, guess who's calling me going, hey, Bill. And I really appreciate that about you, that you do work hard. You're very diligent. And yeah, a great team member. You're just talking about receiving that letter. What is going on in the lending world? What's going on with interest rates? I'm hearing some crazy stuff. Like I was listening to TV. I guess it was either yesterday or I'm a real estate agent. I have no clue what day it is. The guy said, hey, expect 8 rate hikes this year. I'm like, whoa, what happened to the 4? Why? What is going on? What are you seeing? What is being said?
Last year, at the end of the year, at the end of 2021, gosh, I'm doing it now. I don't even know what year it is. At the end of 2021, we had the market had already priced in. We're going to get 2, maybe 3 rate hikes in 2022, and it's not going to start till June. Well, then the Fed chairman came out and he said some things that made people crazy. And basically, all the industry analysts I watch and pay attention to basically said he's stirring the pot and scared people. So we weren't supposed to expect things to increase dramatically right away. However, what he came out and said is we're going to expect more than 3 to 4 rate hikes this year. And we're probably going to start in March. That freaked people out. And that causes rates to go up. The reason they're increasing the rates, the reason they're doing the rate hikes is because of inflation. If inflation gets out of hand, then everything's worth less, it costs more. I mean, there's got to be some stability there. And I know the Fed's job is to build that stability. People aren't happy with higher rates, but let's be real. How long can we sustain an economy at 2 to 2.5% rates? We've already watched it. You keep track of property values. how much of property value has gone up in the last year?
We're talking,
put you on the spot.
yeah, if you go listen to some of my videos that are being put up about the year end, we're talking like 34%, 20, depending on the neighborhood in the community, you're in double digits. Let's just say double digits. Okay. In a year.
A lot, especially in Texas.
Yeah. In Texas, we're talking, you and I are talking about the Central Texas area. That's where our hunting grounds are. That impact, there's your inflation right there. Easy money brought us crazy price increases. Yeah.
I mean, a house that you would have purchased, say, 2 years ago for 180,000, now you're bidding at what, 190? I mean, 290?
Yeah, and it's hard on me, especially when I'm helping buyers. And again, I've been around here. This is my 12th year. Will be my 12th year on February 1st. And I go into neighborhoods. In fact, it's one of the clients that you helped, and we were all helping. We won't mention their name here, but when I was driving them around, we were in a neighborhood. The house that they were looking at, now, it was very well done. Well, flip, very well done, etc. It was very, very interesting how they did a great job structurally as well as cosmetically to this house. They were asking 180. Which, by the way, they were on the market for 4 days. I didn't go back to go see if they got to 180, but I bet you they did. In that same neighborhood, I can remember selling homes for $34,000. So, yeah, I mean,
that's a big change.
A big change. So I guess sometimes I have to close my mouth and not say, oh my gosh, if you were here 5 years ago.
On an aside, this is a great time to remind people to file their homestead exemption.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If they didn't file their homestead exemption, and a lot of people don't realize that protects them from their value, from their assessed value going up exponentially each year. Mm-hmm. And that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people can go look at some videos I did on protesting taxes and working on that front. But that is a good tip to make sure that you got your homestead kicked in there. You'd be surprised how many vets do not use their disability. They go, oh, I'm not 100% disabled. I go, oh, what are you? Well, I'm 60. All right. Well, you might want to call the county and find out how that works.
It's still a couple $100 a year they're saving.
Yeah, well, it's worth it. It's worth it. You never know. It's worth a little time, a couple of phone calls, and there, like you just said, you saved you some money that you can go have dinner. Okay, so you're thinking interest rates going to go up higher, huh?
What do I think they're going to go to? You can grab a dartboard and be more accurate.
You predicted COVID, didn't you? I thought.
Woo, that would be a feat. Interest rates right now, we're still in the threes. So for anybody out there that says that's horrible, yeah, I know. Perspective, please. Prior to COVID, we were in the fives. So to still be in the threes, that's still phenomenal interest rate. Several things happened. We just kind of had this perfect storm during COVID, when COVID started. One, interest rates dropped dramatically. Two, people were spending more time at home and they realized they wanted a home they liked. And that caused kind of this frenzy of the seller's market and all that other stuff. So what we've got is this swirling storm still kind of going on. Increasing rates a little bit and I don't mean like, hey, we're going to increase rates. I mean, the market increasing rates is going to kind of help level that out a little bit. And instead of it being a complete seller's market, it'll start to bring that inventory back into line. Don't you agree?
Well, I do. And I think that's something for a future video for you and I to sit down and kind of talk about. What is the impact of higher interest rates to your home price / your buying ability. I think that's a video in the future that we need to sit down and kind of talk about. But you're correct. Again, I've been in this business for a while, and I've been in where there was neither advantage seller or buyer. We were in kind of a nice equilibrium where everybody, had a fair chance at stuff. And I would like to get back to that because, but that isn't no one calls me and asks me for that. But you're right. If interest rates start creeping up, that free money is not going to be out there, and people are going to be, thinking more about their home purchases and how that all works. And so I don't like, again, I've been in a market where the buyer had the upper hand too much. And now I'm in the seller has the upper hand too much. And guess what? Those aren't really any fun markets to participate in,
There are. The cool thing though is that you've been in both of those, or all three of those markets. I've been in all three of those markets. There are strategies for getting offers accepted and strategies for selling your house and having the right mortgage for all of those markets. And they change depending on what the market looks like.
Yeah, I don't want to toot our horn too hard here. We are a little cut above because exactly what you said. We have the experience. You know what we also have? Brainstorming, like you come and hang out with us and vice versa, and talk this stuff out. Well, I really appreciate you showing up. Do you mind showing up a couple more times, and let's kind of talk some more about how, because your part of the business is very crucial. And yes, there's a lot of cash deals, but I'm going to say a mass majority of our clients finance their purchases. And you're somebody that they need to talk to. You mind coming and hanging out with us a couple more times?
I'd love it.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, this is Samantha from Guarantee. How can people reach out to you?
Hey, you know what? Easiest way to find me is my cell phone number. It is 254-624-4307. It'll get me probably 90% of the time. I'm friendliest between 9 a.m. and about 8 p.m. But it's always on. It's always here. Also email. If you want to get somebody on my team quickly, the easiest way to do that is teamsam, TEAM, SAM @rate.com. Those two ways will get us the fastest. And usually somebody will respond pretty quickly if you
right. Yeah, you have a team. You have a team of people. Your phone call is going to be answered most of the time by you. However, if you are eating lunch, we're going to be. I was thinking about something else you might be doing that people don't need to be calling you, but we'll keep this family oriented. Your phone gets answered. When I call and text you, I get a pretty quick response. And so I would encourage people to reach out to you with their mortgage needs. Hey, this is again, Bill Varing, your Keller Williams agent for the Central Texas area. I'm the team lead for the I-35 group. Of course, you can reach me by my cell phone, 254-495-5661. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So when we have Samantha back on, because I already have questions. I want her to talk about FHA loans. I want her to talk about, if the interest rate goes to 4%, how much is that going to cost you as a buyer and as a seller? Yeah, you need to be writing notes, right? Samantha. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
we want to talk about too why you need a realtor.
Yeah,
I'd love to have that conversation with you.
Maybe you need to, one of these times you need to be shooting questions at me and going, put me in the hot seat. What, Bill, justify. I love going on listening points. People go, justify your commission to me. Why am I giving you all that money? And I love that opportunity to discuss the importance of me on the team. I love that you did that. We'll do that. Well, we'll see you later, Sam.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Talk to you soon.
Bye now.